Alright everybody, we've got GBJJ here, main and a diva in the silver bracket right now. Gonna have some fun here looking for some tips, so we're gonna see if we can't hand out a little life advice here. This is harmless for you. I am a platinum diva main, which means I know just enough to think that I'm way better than I actually am. But quite honestly, half the reason I do these VODs is the more time you spend looking at gameplay, analyzing gameplay, watching other people play your hero, it helps you think critically about your own gameplay too here. So obviously we're searching for a game here. We're going to mess with some settings. Right off the bat, 10.17 for a mouse sensitivity seems a little high, but sensitivity is 100% subjective. If it works for you, then my buddy, you're golden. There's nobody else can tell you're wrong if you're being effective here. So depending on what your DPI is, you could be just fine here. We're going to skip a little bit ahead a little bit, see if we can't find some gameplay. Never mind. Real quick, you're messing with the settings, drastically changing your sensitivity as you're loading into a competitive game. You don't want to be messing with your sensitivity really ever. You want to take some time, you want to set it up and get it to a point where you're comfortable with it, and that might be one sensitivity for everybody. You might adjust bits here and there for different heroes, but literally as a competitive game is loading, to drop your sensitivity 7 points on the in-game scale there, that's significant. That's going to be trouble there for you. So I would encourage you to take some time, go to the practice range, really dial in what feels comfortable for you, and then don't change it. Part of setting your sensitivity, part of all that, is developing muscle memory, so that when you do the same thing, when you move your mouse left, right, up, down, the same distances are always the same, in-game dots per inch there. You're always moving around the same level. And so you need to get your muscles used to one sensitivity there, so that you can be effective and really start climbing here. We're still messing
Hello,
with
my
it.
brothers
I would
and
not recommend
sisters.
doing this
Let's
at
have
all.
a good round.
Alright, so real quick, just looking at your comp here, you got a pretty decent thing going on, obviously. You're going to be filling in the off-tank role here. You've got Narissa to do that main tanking for you. That's beautiful. The one thing you're going to have to watch out here is you do not have a hit scan hero. You've got the Anna, obviously, but you want her focused on healing, which means if you run into any kind of vertical threats coming in here, those are going to be your responsibility. So keep that in mind going forward here. By the way, this is the first time I've seen this footage. We are running into it raw, and again, I'm a plat myself, so there's going to be a lot of there's a good chance I'm going to make some mistakes as well. But let's see what we got going on here. Let's see if we can't both get a little better at life. Let's skip ahead here and see what we got going on.
4, 3,
G'day, mate.
Okay, I like what you're doing here. Right there, what you did though. Okay, the game just started. We're 3 seconds into the game, and you have abilities on cooldown. You don't want to end up like this. What you're doing here with peeking forward, maybe trying to get some damage here, maybe you're going to get a peek at the enemy comp. You see they got a Rhine, obviously, there's a hammer. But you're starting the game with your abilities on cooldown. You gotta plan ahead a little better than that.
defend objective A.
Okay, there's no reason to hang out up here. You're either going to get a quick peek and see what the enemy comp is, or you're going to try to get a little bit of ult charge built up. You're not really doing anything up here. You're distracting the enemy, but you're apart from your healers. You get out of here just fine, but there's already somebody on the point. You're already at a quarter health basically, and it was an odd place to be, I'll be honest.
Switch them off the point.
Alright, you need to get back on the point here. Alright, generally speaking, well, watch what happens here when you dive in with your missile. Now, boosting back to the point here, diving on like you did, was the correct move, I think here. You gotta get back to the point, and as a diva, this is your job to chase some people off it. If you land every single diva missile, every single one of them, alright, you're gonna do 162 damage, 162. I think, I'm like 90% sure about that. So every missile that you miss is just gonna chip away at that damage, and you don't have to miss many before you're not even able to kill a tracer with a missile burst. So if you use them while you're flying, and especially while you're moving your crosshairs around a lot, you're gonna miss a lot of those missiles, and you're gonna be much less effective getting rounds on target here. I would suggest that unless you are flying at somebody and tracking them and initially, trying to kill one player specifically, as you're diving into places like on this point here, save your missiles until you've acquired a target and really be effective with that damage you pump out.
We need to sweep them off the point.
Yeah, you're just kind of throwing them around right here. They're going everywhere. Alright, as you dive through there, you want to cancel your boost. Hit that shift key again so you don't overshoot your targets. Alright, D.Va's effective range, you're playing on the edge of it here. Or you were, rather. Nice kill there, though. Way to chase it down. Good kill there. Pick up that trap. Well done.
Get through this. Get back in.
Okay, you're kind of randomly using your defense matrix, and this is something I do a lot too, and a lot of D.Va players as they climb kind of learn to be more effective with it. What you don't want to do, though, is just get in this habit. I mean, look at this. It actually uses a bunch of charge. Your D-Matrix is sitting at like 55-60% right now, and really all you've done is flash it twice for no effect. And again, this is something all D.Va players, as they climb, learn to do better. Here's what helps. Don't think of your D-Matrix as a continuous charge where you can hold it down for a while. Think of it in terms of how many pulses you can get out of it. So if you just click and release the button, just press it real quick, you're going to get about 4 pulses out of this matrix here to eat damage with. So you want to save that damage because it's got a long recharge time on it. You want to save that for times when it's really effective. Okay, you have a giant health pool. You got 600 points here with some armor and everything. You don't need to use your D-Matrix for every little thing. You don't need to use it preemptively to start blocking damage that's incoming. Save it for when the big damage comes in. Save it for eating ults. Save it from eating teammates. Also, you guys are already down a tick here because you didn't get back to that point fast enough and contest some people off it. Always be watching the objectives. Alright, so you're flanking around behind here. Again, on its own, not a bad move. What you want to avoid there, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through one thing. When you're in this this little area here, you fly up here, you look around, you use your missiles right here. Okay, your missiles, just so you know, they will do self-damage. That splash damage that they do, that's going to hurt you too. So right here, and you don't actually end up taking any because you're walking through with some armor and all that. But right here, as you're coming through, there's no reason to just randomly be spraying your missiles around. Same like I was talking about with the D-Matrix. You want to save your abilities until times when you can use them to their highest effectiveness. So there's no reason to use your D-Matrix when there's no real damage coming in, and there's no reason to use those missiles if you don't have an actual target you're putting effective rounds on.
And I'll hit you.
Yeah, not a single missile hit there. It was, save those for the times when you can really lay the hurt on somebody. You're playing way out of your effective range here. You're doing almost nothing to this Junkrat, and you're quite a ways out of position compared to the rest of your team. You see that? Okay, got that Junkrat. He fell off on his own, but now they've got 2 ticks. Okay, you're playing so far ahead of your team that, I mean, you're not there to help your team contest the point. Now that you're back, there's not a lot going on. All in all, I would have played much closer to my team there. So, I mean, that D.Va bomb right there wasn't the worst it could have been. In effect, you're trying to clear some people off the point, buy some time for your team to get back. But look at what's going on when you use it here. Before you do something like this, okay, again, the point is racking up. You're losing teammates. This kill feed up here, I can't emphasize enough how much you gotta watch that kill feed and know what's going on in the game. You're walking into a 2-on-3 basically here with your Ana. You're gonna lose this. It doesn't matter if you're Nano, you're going to lose this fight. Right here, again, like, who else do you have going around? You have a Tracer there. I think you have your Ana behind you. I didn't see if she died or not. And you're really just buying yourself a couple of seconds here. They're going to take this point. It's going to happen. You got to be a little bit more objective-minded in terms of getting on that objective, pushing the enemy off, contesting things. And if you are going to stall like this when you're dropping an ult on the point to give your team time to get back, you got to make sure that they're actually on their way. And this isn't 100% your fault. I'm not digging on you here. This is, the team kind of fell apart here. The team failed to protect this objective. But there's no reason to stall for nobody there, basically. Even here, okay, his respawn area, obviously it moves forward since they took that point. You need to be rushing back here to get back with your team. Going 1-for-1 here, even trading 2-for-1, does nothing. And you can see your team's even kind of starting to get on you over here. Maybe they shouldn't be, yelling at people in comp chat. That's always good. But they're not wrong in terms of you need to do a little more stay with your point here. I can't emphasize enough how bad it is. You just doubled your sensitivity in the middle of a comp game. Everybody would have trouble with this. If you find a Grandmaster player and start messing with their sensitivity in the middle of the game, it's gonna be bad. It's not gonna go well for them. You're stuck in a little room on your own here. You're not with your team.
Boosters engaged. Time to raise my APN.
Good pick right there. That was nice. Alright, you gotta be doing a little bit more with your D-Matrix to protect your teammate. Well, we'll talk about this at the break.
Mecha activated.
That was not a... No, I mean, there's a good chance you get a kill there, but I don't know if you needed to use your ult. You've effectively won the fight at this point. Let's back up a second here. So at this point, when you use that ult, what's going on? Who's left? Like, look how many kills there were coming in before you dropped that ult and picked up another one there on the enemy D.Va, and the baby D.Va at that. You'd won that fight already. There was no reason to invest any more ultimates into this fight here. As you climb, as you get better, and this is something that I'm trying to learn to do better as well, you're gonna have to pay a lot more attention to ult economy, which means winning fights using the minimal amount of ult necessary to win that fight. There's no reason to waste your ult on something like that. This is a good kill, but you're out of position here. There's no reason to be up here just chasing around. This is smart to get back here. Alright, you made it by the skin of your teeth, let's be honest. That's 35 points on health there. Alright, you've got a Rhine now, so you've got a little bit more of a mobile tank as compared to the Orisa because that shield can move around now. You need to be playing with your Rhine. One of the things that D.Va excels at is maximizing the abilities of whoever she's with. Her kit gives her mobility, it gives her the ability to protect enemies, and it gives her the ability to punish enemies with some big burst damage. So don't go off on your own here. Learn to create mismatches, play with your teammates, and look for opportunities to create 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s. Yeah, you're too far ahead there and you just get punished for it. Oh, we're gonna get a Twitch ad here. So we're watching this on Twitch, we're gonna see some ads. I apologize to everybody, sorry about that. That being said, I played Elder Scrolls Online for like 10 minutes. I wish it was better.
Ultimate is ready.
Alright, your sensitivity's gone up 10 points in one game.
Bunny hop. Now.
And again, it's 100% subjective, so take this with a grain of salt. When you wiggle around like that, I can almost guarantee it's probably too high, at least for my taste. If you like it this way, I'll for you. But you might want to look at turning it down a little outside of the game.
Routing power to forward barrier.
Okay, you guys did good work there. I mean, you had that one pretty much in hand. Alright, you flew right into those Junkrat grenades when they were coming in. You can see these Junkrat grenades come in here, and you basically make the decision to eat them with your face. Which, if you're trying to take some damage to help your healers build ults, hey, that's pro as hell. But you don't stop and let your healers build ult off you there. You continue pushing forward, now you're at half health. You see those low health bars, you get excited. But you didn't actually kill anybody. That ult usage there was very questionable, to be honest with you.
At my position.
Game on.
Fuck with me. Rendezvous at my position.
Again, stick up there with your Rhine, bud. Find a friend, play as a team. You've got this Reinhardt. Reinhardt D.Va can be a very effective combo. He left him on his own, the May got it.
You're going to be okay.
You're out of the effective range for your pulse cannons. You pick up the kill there. It was a good use for the missiles, throwing those in. But again, you want to make sure you're using those to effectively burn down individual targets. Alright, these are good kills here. You're doing a nice job picking up these targets. And good job chasing down this D.Va to confirm the kill here. These are the situations where it's perfect to kind of jump ahead of your team. Use D.Va's mobility to really get out there and really start punishing the enemy. That was very nice. And now you got to jump right out of position here. So the same things that you were getting punished for earlier in terms of being out of position, here's your opportunity to get some back on them. Unfortunately, you got that there. Junkrat's great in small spaces. Grenades, traps, etc. You don't want to be in a small space with a Junkrat.
다시 한판 해보자고.
Alright, you kind of know where this is at, right? Because you knew where that Junkrat was before. Just so you know, when a Junkrat rips his tire off, his rip tire, your job is to go find him and kill him, if it's feasible. If it's close by, go find him, go kill him while he's doing the tire thing. That's not a bad ult. It doesn't end up getting anybody, but I kind of liked what you were doing there. What you could have done is thrown the ult, and I'll just kind of show you what I'm looking at here. So right here, you get your ult up, it's going up, Okay, what you're going to do here is actually a pretty solid strategy. The enemy's throwing an ult and you've got this Hanzo Dragon Strike in your face, so you know that very likely they're initiating a push right now. They're throwing some ults at it, they're starting to invest into this push here. Your ult is online right now, you just got it up, so you have a pretty good opportunity here to kind of cancel this push and negate their ultimate right away. You gotta, they're Reinhardt already, so your team's already theoretically turning this in your favor, so if you're going to use your ult here, let's make it effective. Okay, right here, you see what's happening. When you were going up, you just kind of dropped your ult as it was, which again isn't the worst thing in the world. You'll get better at your ults the more you practice them, that'll happen. But what you could have done here, you've got your ult, right? It's over here, it's blowing up. You can see the enemy players. Here's the D.Va retreating to safety, right? This doorway here, this is your golden ticket. As a D.Va player, when you throw your ult around, what's going to happen is you have to kind of predict where the enemy is going to be in a minute, or you have to use your ult to clear them off of spaces you don't want them, like protecting a point or a payload. You know that there's a health pack in there. You know that everybody fighting on this side of the map, when they're attacking, when they're defending, is going to try to run in there and get that mega pack, right? If you would have thrown this ultimate down into that hallway, and I think you had enough boost to kind of aim it down there, you could have cleared out this whole room. Now, I wasn't paying enough attention, because again, I'm Plaid, to who else is in there, but there's at least some in there. Look for those opportunities to predict where you know people are going to go. Health pack rooms are amazing, and when you use your ult, use it, to the highest efficacy that you possibly can. Yeah, the D.Va gets down there, she gets away. And if you just would have aimed that one down there, you could have got it. Alright, right there again, you boosted into him, you hit that melee, but you didn't cancel the boost, and you ended up, running through the target, and you kind of lost sight of the enemy D.Va there. Okay, here's what you want to do in this case. Right here where the Mei is getting you, and we'll kind of ease up on this here. You get this kid. Alright, right here, what's going to happen? Obviously, you're trying to finish off some targets here, that gets work. You have a full health Mei, or essentially full health, kind of staring you in the face here. One thing you need to understand about playing D.Va is that your head hitbox, in terms of people who can get headshots on you, is enormous. It's basically your entire grill. That giant glass screen on the front of your mech, that's your headshot kind of target hitbox there. So when Mei freezes you, you have a second or two, and what you want to do is turn to the side. Now again, with your sensitivity, you should be able to just kind of whip it around here, but you want to turn as quick as you can to the left or the right. In this case, probably the right, so you're at least facing back on your team, and you can, as soon as this is up, boost backwards. But that prevents Mei from being able to get a headshot off on you, is if you turn to the side at the last moment. You don't, she picks out some headshots, you're in trouble there. You guys are holding though. Overall, this is not going that terribly. You've got about 60 miles to go here, that is 60 seconds. Again, you kind of wasted some missiles there. You started firing and then you turned to the side. Okay, this is something that a lot of D.Va players do. This is something I see myself do a lot, but as you come around the corner here, you're going to fight this Mei here, and here's what you do. Kill the Mei, and then we go around, we try to kill the Hanzo, and as you go around, you use your Matrix there. For no reason, okay? I understand the Hanzo shooting at you, alright? But look at this. Look what's going on right now. You have 800 health. You're down a little bit, but you have this massive extra health right now. Your Brigitte's doing work for you, okay? You don't need to worry about the little individual arrows. Now, if somebody pops out an ultimate, if he was going to throw a storm arrow in there, if the D.Va missiles start coming in from over here, then absolutely, get that Matrix up and start eating some damage. Don't use your Matrix preemptively. Again, you don't have that many, that much charge on it. You gotta be selective about where you use it. Coming it around the corner and just throwing it up to hopefully block something is honestly not the most effective way you can use this D-Matrix. Again, there, you're just kind of throwing it up randomly. This is something a lot of D.Va players do as they're learning to be more effective, but you gotta start using it in effective situations. Again, when you have healers on you, like right there, you had your team pretty much right behind you, it's okay to take a little chip damage. The enemy will build up a little bit of ult, sure, but your healers are going to get some ult charge off of being able to top you off. Okay, that was really good. Way to jump up there, way to punish that D.Va for being out of position. This is a good move chasing down this Moira here. I like what you're doing. Alright, that could have been a little cleaner, but that was well done. You did very well there. But now your team's on the point alone again. Okay, you get a nano. Good work here.
Time to raise my APM.
It was dirty, but you ended up doing alright there.
Defense matrix activated.
Good move cleaning up some kills there. Again, get up there with your Reinhardt. Use that D-Matrix to protect him. Okay, all in all, I mean, you guys, you held them to 1 point. That was pretty good there. You can't argue that you guys did pretty effective. And your stats, just for that middle flash you put up there, I know they don't really matter. But you're kind of doing the right things. You're on the objective. You're getting eliminations. Here's what you need to understand about D.Va, and this is kind of what I'm trying to learn and trying to be better at as I climb myself. D.Va has one word you need to think about. That word is mistakes. Okay? Mistakes, mistakes, mistakes. Say it over and over and over to yourself. D.Va has a kit that excels at punishing the enemy when they make mistakes. If they're out of position, you can dive them and punish them. When you make a mistake, you have a lot of abilities that are going to get you out of those situations. You have the D-Matrix to save yourself, you have boost to get out of there, and you have an enormous health pool and a lot of armor. So your mistakes can be mitigated. And if your teammates make a mistake, if you have a teammate who's out of position, who gets into a bad situation where they're being overpowered, you have the ability to get in there, again, boost away, throw that D-Matrix up, throw some rockets in the situation, and really mitigate the impact of your own teams and your own mistakes. So again, focus on mistakes, focus on punishing the enemy for their mistakes, and focus on making sure that when you and your teammates make a mistake, you do everything you can to mitigate the impact. Yeah, and your team's throwing out some thanks there, which is pretty well reserved, because you did some good work that last time around. Alright, so again, you need to be looking at your team comp here, which you probably are. I just didn't see when you popped it up there. You're playing with the Rhine, so your goal here is to keep the Rhine and the healers alive. Look for opportunities to protect your healers and your backline, and keep your Rhine alive. He's the one who's going to actually create space for you here. If he stands there with his shield up the entire game, you can't possibly lose. If your Rhine's alive and pushing onto the point there and you keep him and your healers up, things are going to go very well for you. Okay, see right here, this is what I'm talking about here. Look what happens when you throw your D-Matrix out at the beginning. Do you actually stop any damage coming in? Not really. But look where your D-Matrix charge is at right now, okay? You're about to push up for the first fight of the game, which is arguably one of the more important ones, you know, the initial kind of poke phase there. But you're sitting at like 33% D-Matrix charge because you were waving it around trying to stop damage that, I'll be honest here, doesn't matter. This damage coming in right now, don't worry about the individual ones-its and twos-its. You know, if a Moira Orb comes in, when your whole team's alive and when you have healers with you, just let the damage flow and give your healers a little bit of charge there. Yeah, if you want to grab some, that's fine, but not at the expense of losing this much charge. Okay, automatically here you're doing an interesting thing here. Your whole team goes left, your Reinhardt goes left, you're the only one on the right side. But it ends up working out here because you catch that Junkrat up top, and so I can't dog you too much for that, but it's an interesting choice to separate from your team so aggressively. Okay, right now you're jumping in here. Okay, let's think about what's happening real quick here. You dove in over the top, you jumped up to the top here, right? This is not a terrible position for you to be in right now, especially considering that I haven't seen a ton of their comp yet, but they might not be able to get to you. What's not happening, though, is you're not able to help your team, you're not able to capitalize their strengths, and they're not able to help you. Ryan can't get up here and he's not as fast as you. He has no boost, right? And so he can't get up here, you can't use his shield to help yourself. Your healers are going to be back there with the Reinhardt. Focus on slowing down a little, play with your team. Quick is not necessarily an advantageous word in Overwatch. Being the quickest to the objective, the quickest to the back line, only works if you're able to snag some kills and then effectively get back to your team to accomplish the objective. Just getting somewhere quickly is not actually anything that matters. Okay, so you're able to safely kind of get up here and hold the high ground. This is good. That there is a golden opportunity. Punish, punish. Great kill on that Rhine, that was beautiful. Okay, that was a situation you had no way of knowing what was coming up. I mean, you knew there was a Bastion some there, you've heard him a little bit, you can kind of see him through the window, but it's not something I saw, it's not something I'd expect a lot of people to see until they've got a lot of hours in the game, and are obviously much higher ranks than you or I. But when you jump over there, you know, you got a great kill, you took great advantage of that anti-grenade, I saw you watch that come in, that was exactly what you should do there. But again, you were so far away from your team that they couldn't help you if you got into a bind, and you couldn't help them capitalize on their situation. Alright, flanking D.Va is not the worst thing in the world. Again, you've got mobility that allows you to get places other players can't. But at the expense of being so far apart from your team, I don't really know if it's an effective strategy here. One kill, that's good. You hear the Bastion, where's he? Okay, good kills on the Ryan, good kills on the Ryan. Nice job. Not the Ryan, the Winston. That was well done. Okay, you're doing very well here. This position. Right here, though, what you could have done is won the team fight in one. And you might still win, I don't know. Let's see, though. Right here. These are the kind of things you have to look for, right? This is your opportunity to be a hero. If you were going to get a play of the game rock star moment, this was going to be it. A lot of things are lining up for you. You've got some kills, you've got their Winston down, which means they have effectively one shield, and it's the Reinhardt. He's currently engaged with a lot of things over here, and you're beating him up from the top. What you see, though, and what your team's biggest problem is this Bastion, right? He killed you the first time you ran in here, and here's where you see him. What is one ability Bastion doesn't have? He's not mobile. He has no mobility abilities, right? You have an ultimate that's ready. At this point, what you can do, your boost is up, your shields are up, your rockets are up, everything's ready to go, okay? This is time for you to be an absolute rock star. What you need to do here is take your boost, toss it down in here. Make it so it's hard for him to get away. You know there's stairs going up the back here. You know there's an exit in the back, right? But this area right here, if you land your D.Va bomb in there, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get those kills. Let's see what you do here, though. Kill the Rhine, that's good. And the Bastion gets you. And you use your ult on top for no reason. Okay, now, again, using your ultimate ability to essentially remech yourself after you've been demeched is not bad. Okay, that's very appropriate given the situation. But right here, your team was going to take this point anyway. You did very good. Nice job, nice job. That was beautiful. That was really, really well done. Great use of those missiles. Way to just punish that Junkrat. That was perfect. Right, when your team's going to take the point anyway, don't worry about blowing more abilities. Again, you got to focus a little bit on your ult economy. You got to save some ultimates for later on in the fight and for the next fight here so that you can be more effective. Okay, get up here with your Rhine. Alright, you guys only have to take one tick here. You're in good position. You should be checking on your team's ultimates. You should see what you've got up here. Your soldier was a little bit ahead of the curve here. Alright.
My 8 p.m.
Oh, we're getting another Twitch ad. Again, I apologize. I'm watching this on free Twitch, so I get to watch ads for all sorts of random things. If I could skip it, I would. I sincerely apologize.
Man with incredible hair. Endlessly handsome hair by Old Spice.
Alright, now back to business here. Alright, you're behind the Rhine. That's beautiful. Great kill there. Nice job charging through the shield and throwing that melee. That's exactly what you want to do. Again here, you see what you did? You started throwing missiles. Right here. You're throwing missiles at this Winston shield for no reason. You're just using an ability, and again, maybe you thought there was somebody behind you. It could be a lot of things, but it's unnecessary. And when you throw them at a shield at close range, that splash damage, it's hurting you too. You're doing nothing here but hurting yourself. Yep, lost a couple more points of health there. Again, not a huge deal. It's not going to change any. Good kill on that one. See if we can capitalize. That was a real good throw. That was a very well done ultimate. You got lucky on that one, but hell, you earned it. Nice job. Okay, this one here, you could have seen that trap. I hate to be nitpicky because this is stuff that everybody gets caught with, but these are the little things you got to work on if you really want to climb. Right there. You saw it open up. You gotta watch this Junkrat because they're crafty like that. As this Junkrat flies up here, this is what all Junkrats do, alright? You know he's just running back into the fight. You know he's starting to go into kind of stall mode here, where he's using his abilities just willy-nilly, trying to effectively get the team fight back to the defender's advantage for him, right? He's going to throw a trap down here. Traps are kind of hard to see if they're like embedded in the ground, obviously. But when he throws it down, it's super easy to see it fall here and open up. And what you're going to do, though, is walk right into it.
Get through this. No.
Yep, you walked right over it there, which again turns out not to be a big deal in this case. But like you said, these are the little things you got to clean up if you're going to really start climbing. Right, you're dealing with some ultimate tier. That was great. Okay, yeah, good job killing that Mercy. Your soldier finished her off. That was well done chasing her down, though.
I'm just getting warmed up.
Okay, overall, I mean that went pretty effectively. Obviously, you got the dub out of it. Your stats look really pretty good there. Obviously, you know, picking up 41 kills, objective time, objective kills, and again, before I say any of this, let me preface this by saying stats don't matter, and anybody who focuses on their own stats is doing nothing but kind of rubbing their own back there. But there can be an effective way to look at these and say, okay, was I an effective member of my team? Objective kills, objective time. Obviously, a Lim's Diva is always going to be high just because you're tagging so many enemies and just racking up assists there. But overall, I mean, you did quite well there. The things you need to work on, your ult usage is pretty much random. If you get your ult, you use it at the earliest opportunity. You got to hold on to those and look for the most effective times you can use it. And I can't say it enough time. Say it to yourself. Mistakes, mistakes, mistakes. Did the enemy make a mistake? How can I punish them for it? Did I make a mistake? How can I mitigate the damage and the impact of that? Did my teammate make a mistake? How can I help them get out of that situation safely? If you continually focus on those things, I promise you're going to climb. All in all, though, nice VOD. Thanks for sending it in. And again, thanks for the opportunity to kind of help my own understanding of the game by watching other people play. Keep it up, bud.